This is just a quick set of lessons learned on how to service a particularly difficult transmission. I used a 2007 RX 350, but the lesson should apply fairly well to any car that uses the same 3.5-liter engine cross-mounted in the front, either on a front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive Lexus. Replacing the filter on a Lexus RX 350 transmission really sucks. Lexus won't even do the job. So if you are not at least a rank amateur mechanic, stop right now, go away, do not attempt this job, it's going to go badly. Next, make absolutely sure that your Lexus has a transmission filler tube. The screwdriver in this photo points to the top of the dipstick, which is at the bottom right corner of the cover on top of the engine, the driver's side of the cover, because if you don't have this filler tube and dipstick, you can't refill the transmission when you're done. Before you begin this job, be absolutely sure you have at least a 10 millimeter offset box end and a 10 millimeter ratcheted box end like you see here. Start by lifting the Lexus or jacking it with the appropriate stands, removing the plastic covers, exposing the transmission like this, and draining it through the plug you see. I learned at this point that this car had apparently been flushed by an ordinary servicing earlier where they had used the wrong fluid. It came out thick and a reddish brown when it should have been fairly thin and just plain red. Here's where it gets really ugly. Maybe 4 of the bolts on the driver's side of the transmission pan are obscured by the frame. This is where you need the offset box end to get those bolts started so they clear the lip on the pan. When you clear it far enough, you can switch to the ratcheted box end to speed the process, but there's just no getting around it. This part of the job really bites. So remove the rest of the pan, clean up the surfaces, and here's what you'll see. The original filter will be dark, the meaty inside will be clogged and stiff, and as just my opinion, Lexus, there's no such thing as a permanent filter. You really blew it on this one. Now look to the pan you removed and you will see that it has 2 magnets. Rub the grit from the magnets between your fingers. It should be the finest sand you know. If you encounter any chunks or pieces, take your transmission to the dealer because you have serious problems. Install the new filter. It will look like this. This transmission pan is meant to never be removed, so all of the bolts are installed with locking material. When you reinstall it, be sure you include something like Loctite as you see here. Use solvent or a parts washer to clean the pan, the magnets, and everything around it to get all the fluid and metal shavings out of it. Lay the new gasket on the pan and then run all of the bolts through it to get them started and in place like you see here. Install the pan, replace the covers, lower the vehicle, and then be absolutely sure you're filling it with the right type of automatic transmission fluid. Lexus doesn't use ordinary fluid, so do your research on this one. Run your Lexus through the gears, let it cool off, top it off as necessary. If this explanation did not make sense, then you likely do not have the skills to start this job. Take your Lexus to the dealer, pay him to flush it, and pray that it doesn't blow up at 125,000 miles.